6:23 here in the region. Chuck Pullen, Bob Starkey on a Monday morning. Starting to feel more fall-like, so now we're officially the fall of Chuck and Bob. Although Bob is not a fall guy. You're not a fall guy. You're a Christmas guy. Go straight from summer right to Christmas.
I like the weather, but we don't really have a fall. We went straight from 80 degrees to winter 40, and
we went back this weekend. I mean, I guess that's the question. Like, what do you consider fall like? I mean, I kind of look at it as a crispness in the air. A crispness, not a Christmas.
A Christmas?
You
see, yeah.
Is to me, like that's fall. But and I equate Halloween to fall. Like Halloween and Thanksgiving is fall, but so many of you guys, like by the time I start shopping for Halloween,
you guys,
you people.
I got to be honest with you. If you're into Christmas decorating and you like all things fun and colorful, you have to buy all the new stuff early October. Because you can go to the Home Depots and the Lowe's now and they have stuff, but all that unique one-off stuff that's already sold and gone.
See, now I go the other way. Like I go Halloween shopping like the night before Halloween when everything's half off.
But yeah, you can do that.
So you just got to hide. You got to crawl through the Christmas decorations and then see what's left.
Stop stealing my joy. I love Christmas. It's a magical time of year. And I was flipping through photos recently. Got a post I'm going to do for my mother tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow is the 1 year from her passing. So I was going through some photos and stuff, working on a little memorial presentation thing for her. And I loved the aesthetic of the 80s, early 90s Christmas.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the incandescent lights. Maybe it was just the fact that life seemed simpler, though it wasn't. It just, I was a kid whose parents took really good care of them, so it just felt good. But trying to do that for Liam. And so we go all out with the Christmas stuff, and I've never been a Halloween guy.
Okay, fair enough.
That's not my thing.
I see those pictures and I always just look at those things. I'm like, man, why didn't we just put that stuff away? Why didn't we just play with it once and go put it in the like I have a friend whose parents saved all of his like GI Joes like in pristine condition.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just retire at this point. Just sell your box of GI Joes in the attic. And retire. You got that battleship that everybody wanted or whatever.
It was the aircraft carrier.
It's like So I mean, again, you just look at that stuff like, man, if I would have just kept better care of that Game Boy and all those weird accessories and just put it in the attic somewhere instead of selling it for a nickel at a garage sale. So, we're doing Stump Bob today. So if you have any questions about
no, we're not.
If you have questions about rules and regulations in a community such as Dyer. You want to ask about shed variances or anything like that, 219-845-1100. Or we can talk about, we can talk sheds, we could talk Epstein, we can talk redistricting. I mean, whatever you want to do. It's your show. So if we got callers, we have a half a boatload of callers. So let's take some calls. Good morning, caller. You're in the air.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. I just concerned about what is happening in America.
Okay.
We won't really go into I want to go in terms of the press.
Okay, I agree with you. That's a concern.
Okay. I like the fact is I watch every Sunday morning, Meet the Press.
Okay.
Christian Relka is a person that she was said that she wouldn't be a good person to interview these candidates running for president because she was a Democrat. That's not true. She is basically not. Her mother and her father was Democrats, and that's what. So she interviewed. When Donald Trump came up, he said, "Well, no, she's a Democrat." Well, that's a lie. We know that the president will lie. He'll lie for a cat to go wink his eye. Christian Relka, have you either of you two ever watched Christian Relka on Sunday morning?
No,
Meet the Press?
I don't watch the Sunday shows. I'll be honest with you. I don't watch a lot of traditional television anymore. I can't trust it.
One reason why I like her, she is basically a neutral person.
Okay.
She's very professional. She's a correspondent at the White House. 50 years old, lady. She's married to She has a biracial mother and father, and basically she doesn't take sides with. And I like that as being a news person or a reporter. You know, a person who's not, you know, often to somebody say, I'm out there giving money. She has never given money to the Democrat or Republican. So,
well, you know what's interesting, Ron, if I could just send you in a different direction real quick. What's really interesting, I was reading an article the other day about sort of, you know, more young people than ever are calling themselves independent. So we're at a point now where among young people, the majority of them are saying, I'm not a Republican or Democrat. So sort of like what you're saying. And even like I'm seeing a lot of, so like, for instance, the local newspaper got a new editor-in-chief, and she looked kind of young. And I meet a lot of young people that are getting into the media. And so it's interesting because, like you said, they're not coming into it as a Democrat or Republican. They're coming into it as an independent. So maybe that's going to be the saving grace of the media as you start bringing in these more independent people. That I mean, I think that was the problem that you ran into for a long time, was this idea that, you know, you knew the bias of the media. You knew how Fox News was what they were going to say, and you knew what CNN was going to say. And so this idea that maybe these young people are coming in that don't have these biases because they're not a Republican or Democrat might be a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah. See, and one reason why I'm saying that, as I talk to friends on both sides, and I hear people say, well, you know, this person is no good. But you know what? Believe it or not, I listen to Fox News, and I listen to MSNBC, CNN. And I see sometimes both are, you know, for their own party. I want an impartial press to come and talk. And I know on Sunday mornings, I meet the press, and I know some of your callers who listen to Ron know what I'm talking about. She will have a Democrat on and a Republican. She might have a guy from California who's the governor of California on, and then she'll have a counterpart of the Republican. And then she's fair to both of them. And so, matter of fact, Trump even said during that last time, hey, I can say that you're fair, but he said she wasn't fair because her parents, you can't judge a person based on their parents.
But here's the thing, though, Ron. I mean, do you think? And one of the things I've noticed, and even like here on these airwaves, is, you know, obviously there's different person every day, different personalities. I mean, this idea that if everybody says they want a neutral news, they want neutral media, unbiased, but then if somebody's unbiased, they're going to say things that you don't like. And far too often what I hear is people say, I want an unbiased news, but then when they find that person, they turn them off because they don't want to hear what they're saying. You know what I mean? They want to hear,
well,
again, like people that hear what they want to hear.
Yeah, there are some people who say, I don't listen to your show. That's a lie. They listen, but they know everything that you say.
Well, that's a funny joke, Ron, even going back to like Howard Stern and Mancow. People used to say, the people that, I remember there was a line from the Howard Stern movie, said, the people that don't like you listen to you twice as long as the people that like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, now what's going on big time? This Taylor Greene from Georgia. She's at odds with the President of the United States. Which was one of her
same
best
idea,
friends.
though, is that you end up with, if you agree with me, I like you. If you don't, I want. And the same thing was happening with Thomas Massey and Rand Paul and people like that. So, I mean, again, or if Bob wants to chime in on that, I don't know. Are they on the outs again? I saw the memes. I think they're on the outs.
She issued an apology.
Okay.
Evidently.
Yeah. Well, because she knew that Donald Trump had said, you're no good. You're a traitor. You know, he has a way of. I mean, I just hope that he will be more presidential. Anytime that anybody don't agree with him, they're terrible.
Okay, well, here's the thing, though, Ron.
He needs to be a president, you know. And I don't care if it's a Democrat acting the way he's acting. I'd have to say I'm an American. You know, I'm not. The stuff that he's doing is just unbelievable. And right now, I talked to a friend of mine. I was talking about this food stamps thing. And he said, well, I don't care about this. We shouldn't be doing. I said, what do you mean? I'm a person. I believe in helping poor people who can't afford to the situation. I'm just going to resign from a board that I'm on now, Brothers Keeper, and then it's needed so much. And I usually do a telethon on WOTH every year. They just had one, and I say I'm kind of backing away from that. because I've done it over the years. Give somebody else an opportunity. I believe in there's poor people. I believe that not everybody deserves to have food stamps. But again, there are so many of them do. There's so many people who are dependent on Medicare and Medicaid. That's kind of the people I want to address the public, as opposed to giving $40 billion to another country that's not there. And in terms of, we have a president who basically saying that we're going to take this guy out in this country. Well, you can't take nobody out because you don't agree with that country. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll be more specific. You know, that's what Trump is saying, taking out this guy in this country. He's going to take him out.
Well, I mean, look at what did we do to Muammar Gaddafi and any number of other people that didn't play ball.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what Trump
said. But again, here's the thing, though.
Trump would say the same thing that you're saying. Yeah, I don't want to talk about I want to talk about what are you doing? You're the president of the United States this time around. You're the president of the United States. I don't want to hear Joe Biden talking about his predecessor. I don't want to hear any of them. Tell me what you're going to do to affect the American people. That's what I want to hear. And you know, you don't have to do that. But I'm just saying, when I hear this, I just tune out. I say, there's always two sides.
Okay, so let me rein you in a little bit, because you're always. I always like to. So we got to back up a little bit and tell people about what we were talking about. So Marjorie Taylor Greene apologized. She said, "I'd like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in toxic politics. It's very bad for our country." Again, it's a nice sentiment. So what are your thoughts, Ron? I've really been impressed by John Fetterman lately. So John came out, and I mean, even I was on the fence about him when he first came out. But this is a guy, it's like, here's, guy wearing a hoodie in Congress and stuff like that. But then he shows up again. My wife's from the Philadelphia area. I'm like, man, those guys from Philly are a trip. So he comes out wearing his hoodie, but then he starts saying stuff where he kind of like literally what you just said, Ron. He said, you know what? I'm for the people. I'm not for my party. Sometimes I'm going to agree with my party. Sometimes I'm not. And so people like him are being attacked for doing what a lot of people, same with Chuck Schumer and who is it in Illinois? Is it Dick Durbin, whoever it was? It's kind of like this idea of like, look, I got to do what's best for the people. I'm not going to always play politics. And again, he's a younger guy. Marjorie Taylor Greene, younger being everybody in Congress is 85 years old. So you get this younger class of people coming in, and they're kind of saying, hey, we're sick of playing politics because it's getting us nowhere.
Well, what Taylor Greene has done, she's basically saying this esteem plan. Let's bring it out in the record. And she's right. But she's made to apologize because Donald Trump said, I'm going at you. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to take you out of your office, like he did this lady from, her father just died, the vice president. Dick Cheney's right.
Cheney, yeah.
Liz Cheney.
Liz Cheney.
Yeah.
But my point is,
he ruined her career. I'm just saying.
But you have people. But my point is, you have people coming in like John Fetterman that are saying, hey, look, I'm sick of playing politics. Or even you talk about Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, people like that. They come in and say, hey, I'm sick of playing politics. I just want to do the right thing. And what happens? Their party primaries them out most of that's always kind of my thing is like whenever you get good people ending up in Washington, they have a short lifespan. That's always the thing is like we got to get enough good people that like, hey, I'm done playing politics. I'm done being a part of that I just want to do the right thing. If we can get 50 or 100 of them in Congress, we have a chance at changing things. Unfortunately, they don't have a long lifespan.
Now, let me say this, and then I'm going to let you go on to another caller because I know you're backed up. I know probably after I get off, you'll be backed up.
Oh, the phone lines are lit up.
Right now, people will complain what Johnson is doing. He's terrible in Chicago. He's terrible. But they don't say that Donald Trump is terrible, what he's doing in Washington, doing to America. I hear it every day on this
here's the thing, though. Here, let me push back on that because, again, I'm going to be in Chicago in a few hours. Brandon Johnson's decisions, as somebody, I don't own a business in Chicago necessarily, but the things that Brandon Johnson is talking about right now will have an effect on businesses. Will you have a head tax? When I go downtown, I'm going to go to, go get lunch and I'm going to pay like 12% sales tax. You know what I mean? Like when I go park, it costs twice as much because they sold the parking meters. So look, you can talk about Trump all you want, but when I go downtown today, the decisions that, Brandon Johnson and previous mayors have made have an immediate effect on my pocketbook. You know what I mean? So I am concerned about Brandon Johnson because he may say, hey, I'm going to double the parking fees to pay for my projects. Now it's going to, so I'm just saying, like, for somebody like me, I'm going to Chicago today. I'm paying for his decisions.
I'm agreeing with you, but aren't we also paying for the commander-in-chief of the United States of America? Yes, absolutely. Every time you go to the grocery store with all these turfs on, what do these turfs do? They end up come into your pocketbook in the store. So I'm just saying, let's go on to another caller. I know people
Okay.
right
I appreciate
now.
the call,
They're
though.
ready. They're ready for a minute. But I'm okay.
I always enjoy talking to you, Ron. So I'm glad you called in. Okay, you take care. Do we have any calls, or should we take a break? You want to take? Well, why don't we take our break, because I know you want to stay on time. So let's take a break. We'll come back, take some calls here on the Fall of Chuck and Bob here on WGOB.